Hello traders, today is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. We're going to go over 11 names today. As per usual, please make sure to do your own due diligence and research before you decide to risk your money into any type of investment, in this case, stocks. This is not financial advice. This content is for educational purposes. Let's start the video with Apple. And mention Apple quite often, I guess, lately. One of the reasons why was because we were maybe anticipating breaking this level right here, which is 237, and maybe taking us at that point or towards new all-time highs. Well, that didn't happen. We got rejected again, and now we went today under our support level of 233. We actually got a rebound on this trend line, which is a good thing. And you can also argue then we had a rebound on the 35 SMA. So far, that's a good thing, I guess. There was definitely a sell-off around the middle of the trading session, 8:50 my time, California time. And then you continue going down all the way until pretty much an hour and a half or 2 hours before closing. Hour and a half, I guess. Anyways, right after that, you had a rebound and you came back into this level right here, which is a trend line that we have on the daily chart. And now after hours, where it's pretty much flat. I don't care much about after hours unless you have a good day, like some stock I'm gonna mention at the end of the video. Well, anyways, we'll see if momentum comes back. I think the market is a little bit spooked with news from the Middle East. Israel is really trying to push an attack on Iran, and there are other indications as far as the economy here. That we're getting, I guess, mixed data, revisions and whatnot, but we also are a week and a half away from election day, and a lot of volatility can come out of that. That being said, let's hope and see if we get back to this resistance level at 233 and maybe mount it. Now, however, today, Apple was down at one point over 3%. That is huge for a company like Apple. But anyways, we came back, still down 2.16%. That is still a lot. We'll see what kind of reaction we get tomorrow. We'll see if we maybe consolidate on this area or maybe go under this trend line, and at that point you are probably going to go towards 225. There might be an opportunity to buy it at somewhere in this area if that happens. Or if we mount 233, which is your resistance level, maybe we can see a nice move towards 237. For now, I guess my only focus would be breaking resistance at 233. That's it. Or if we go under the 35 SMA or under this trend line, then you can, I guess, predict that you're going to go towards 225. That's all for Amazon. And now let's talk about AFRM. And mention AFRM a few days in a row already. And the reason why is because of the setup that we're seeing. One of the things that I said yesterday is that, well, we have to, or it would be optimal to maintain the 4250. That didn't happen. We broke the 35 SMA as well. I think our price target now is 40, not 39. In this case, my level is 39.3, but let's say 40. And if we break 40, we're definitely going to fill this gap. I'm sorry, unless at 200 SMA and this support level in 35.5 holds. But I think 4250 was critical for now. I also mentioned that our range should be 47 and 40. I said that before. I've been talking about AFRM quite often, so check what I was talking about somewhere in this level right here, maybe one of these days on Monday, or maybe over the weekend. But I said that our range could be this, and it's kind of happening. It's a wide range if you go from 47 to 40, but at the same time, it's been moving, in that kind of fashion. Now we're under a 35 SMA. I think we're going to hit 40, and then we'll see if we rebound. If we break, oh boy, we go down towards this gap fill, no liquidity, so it would probably take us towards 325 SMA, and then we'll see what kind of reaction we have. But for now, let's just still focusing on 4250 as resistance. Support is 40. Let's move on to the next name, and that would be AMD. AMD has been looking, to be honest, pretty weak. Yet another scenario where levels show you that they work. Most of the times, levels are there to be broken as well. But this time we went under this trend line, right? And then we got to the 151 level. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. You hit this level, you went under a little bit, and then you came back. This comeback was pretty decent. You were down almost 1%, 0.77%. After hours, you're up 0.29%. Let me tell you, that means nothing. But I like the fact that we came back. Buyers came back in towards the end of the session. But it still looks weak. This candle, tells you that buyers came in, but it wasn't enough. So we'll see what kind of reaction we see tomorrow, what kind of move we see tomorrow. MACD and TSI are still looking bearish. RSI, the same thing. So right now, if you break under 151, you're going to hit that 325 SMA. This indicator moves slow, so I guess our support would be 145, 144. I think at that level, you definitely have an opportunity to buy, or at least you can start assessing. However, you can also see that you have low liquidity under 151. That's kind of scary, and then it's going to take you right on this level, a little bit below the 325 SMA. I mean, if you zoom in or zoom out, this is going to change a little bit. But the level to keep an eye on is 151. We have been looking at this level for a while. When we broke over here, there was a very nice move. It could happen the same on the opposite direction. We break 151. I think we're going to continue going down. Okay, let's move on to Amazon. Why am I mentioning Amazon now? Amazon was setting up very nicely. And surprise, surprise, what happened? This setup got invalidated. We went down 2.6% after hours, under the 35 SMA, but we're still respecting this trend line, which is going back to this area right here. It's pretty strong. I think I should actually move it a little bit lower, to be honest, so we can actually go with these candles. But you still came rebounded from this trend line. You're still under the 35 SMA. We'll see how we look tomorrow. MACD and TSI, if we zoom in, they are starting to look weak. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday they were looking a little bit bullish. Like the TSI was looking very nice yesterday. So we'll see what kind of reaction we see. We can maybe argue that this is neutral, but at least on what we're seeing right now, it looks a little bit bearish. RSI is already pointing down under the signal line. So if we have a good move tomorrow, that would be nice. We still have to break this level of resistance at 190, and keep in mind that you have this trend line as resistance, and you have 181 also as a support level. These two levels have been very strong, especially in the last 2 weeks. So we'll see how we behave tomorrow and how we're going to behave into earnings, which are coming next week, right on Thursday 31st. That's what I have for Amazon. Keep an eye on 181 support, 190 resistance. That's it. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin, another name that I'm mentioning once again. Normally I try to mix it up, but I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but I'm disappointed on the lack of volume coming from buyers. I think I made a video on either Saturday or Sunday, and I was expressing my concern on the kind of candles that we were seeing. So I think that was on Sunday, because we had this candle right here, this doji candle, very neutral, bearish on the bearish side. And then when I was making the video, this candle was another doji. So I was like, it's not really pushing. The only thing that we have for is on the 35 SMA is crossing the 200 SMA. Okay, well, but what really happened is that, momentum kind of faded away. We came back under 69, and then we went back into the 67.3 level. Then the MACD and the TSI were starting to look weak, and I mentioned that as well on Sunday and throughout the week, because I mentioned this on Monday and Tuesday as well. Anyways, today was down at one point over 2%. We went down to 65 and some change. And then we came back a little bit, but we're still at 66.3. This level of 67.3 got broken. I just see weakness at MACD, and the TSI are also telling you story that the RSI is already under the signal line, pointing down. I guess I hate to repeat myself. If volume doesn't come to the upside, this lack of liquidity here is just going to be a magnet that is going to take you towards 63.9, 64. At that point, you're going to be hitting that 35 SMA, and we'll see how the price reacts to this area right here, if it's going to respect it or not. But right now, at least to the downside, my price target is 63.9, 64. And then, unless buyers come back in, and you would have to break the 67.3 level with enough momentum. You don't have a lot of liquidity here, so that's possible, with enough momentum to break 69 and then continue going towards 70. But at least for now, right now, the way I'm seeing it, it looks a little bit unlikely. Unfortunate, again, when I was looking at this over the weekend, I was like, there is not enough juice. Now, we can also argue that we had a very similar move on this area right here, and then you had a double bottom, and then you went back again. That could be a possibility, that you are coming back towards 64, which is 63.9, and then, momentum comes back in, and you start going back up. That is very possible, considering that you have, not a lot of liquidity in this area. So if we move towards this area within the next few days and then bounce, that could be possible. For now, let's keep it day by day, candle by candle. Anyways, that's what I have for Bitcoin. Let's mention another name that I mentioned yesterday, and that would be CLOV. And in general, the whole market was red. At least my watch list, this is not a watch. Yeah, this watch list. I have a watch list and a focus list, as I said before. But this watch list has almost 270 names or something like that. Most of them were red. Now, CLOV, what I said yesterday is that you can go as low as 314. I wouldn't be surprised. But for now, 355 is your support level. Keep an eye on this level. We are coming into earnings, and I wouldn't be surprised, and they actually beat earnings. They have done it in the last two reports, and I think that they could beat again, which I think if we go down to 350 or even towards the 35 SMA, which would bring you to this level at 315, these indicators would be cooled off enough for a move to the upside. That would be dependent on the move to the upside would be dependent on a good earnings report, which is very possible in my opinion. We'll see what happens here. It was down 4% today. At one point, it was down almost 6%, I believe, in the morning. But let's take a look at the 5-minute just in case and see what was the reaction. I guess buyers came back in within the last hour of trading. But again, I'm very curious about what the earnings report is going to bring us. I do believe that if they beat, this is going to run towards 480 or 5. And but for now, I'm kind of welcoming, to be honest, this cool down and going towards 350, and maybe we're going down towards a 35 SMA or 315 level. I wouldn't be too worried. I don't have a position in CLOV Health, but I like how this is moving. I like the fact that management is doing the right moves, and the returns on equity per se are much better than what we had 3 years ago. I think this There's a lot of potential in this sector, and Clover is well positioned, in my opinion, to capitalize on this. We'll see how things move, but again, your levels for now are two support levels. That one that could be broken easily, which is 355, and then the really key support level for a rebound would be 315. Let's move on to another name that I've been mentioning almost every day, but I still like it, even though today was pretty nasty, and that is HIMS. And it was down at one point almost 12%, I believe. I looked in the morning and I was like, this doesn't look too good. Let's take a look at a 5-minute before I do a whole spiel on this. But yeah, buyers didn't really come up until the end of the session. A lot of names had the same reaction. I mean, I just mentioned Clover, and it was the chart was pretty similar, but it was a sell-off throughout the whole day. If you were day trading, I guess, let me see how this looks on the 1 minute. No, I wouldn't day trade this, but you know, anyways, went down almost 10%, 9.37%. That's how it closed. What I mentioned yesterday is that it would be nice to see a consolidation in this area, and maybe there was a possibility that we will go back towards filling this gap, and therefore taking the price towards 1873. That might happen. Actually, we had a pretty aggressive move today, and you know, if we slowly go down towards this area by earnings, that might be a good thing. You know, if on earnings there is a bid on estimations, which is very possible. I don't have any fundamental information about that, so keep that in mind. I have nothing. I look at charts for the most part. So if you have any information, leave it on the comments about what could actually reassure investors or us into thinking that they are going to beat estimations. Now, what I can tell you is, and they are still the leader in telehealth, and they have, you know, successfully, I guess, passed some hurdles that they had in the last quarter. That's always welcome. You have seen that on the reaction of the stock. You know, you went down in this area right here back in August, and then you had a nice comeback. Again, this level is pretty strong, the 23.4, and you know, if we go down to 1870, might be a good thing as long as we beat earnings. If we don't, then things can get a little bit sticky. So for now, just still keep an eye on this level, which is your resistance right now with 21.7. Keep an eye on the reaction of the stock in the next 2 days or so. I mean, it's already Wednesday, so you have 2 more trading days for the week, and you know, we'll see how this moves towards the end of the week. But again, I wouldn't be, I guess, at least for now, you know, too concerned if we go down towards 18.7. Yet, I just want to make sure to note that this level is critical. I think if we broke under that level, which a catalyst could be earnings or any other news, I don't know, things would get a little bit difficult, I guess, right? We will go straight into the 200 SMA. Let's take a look at news, because I didn't have time to drop on since Wednesday, and worries about FDA regulations. That is bad news on compounding pharmacies and the constituent storage. Okay. Yeah, this is just concerns. So I think this is definitely another overreaction as well. I was thinking about that. It's moving pretty aggressively, reminding me of this move right here after you know, the news from LLY, and then we came back up. Anyways, more than the FDA concerns, I would be more concerned about you know, Amazon for next year. I know that Amazon is gonna put more money for 2025 into this sector, the telehealth, and I think that is even more concerning than any concerns of the FDA. I mean, the FDA at the end of the day is a corrupt institution that, you know, if HIMS or any other company pours money into whatever might be sponsored by the FTC or people in the government or whatnot, I'm not too worried about the FTC. In any case, this is definitely a strong reaction. Keep an eye on the 18.7 level for now. We're talking short-term situations right now. And if you have any information about what might be coming on earnings and any, data that is reliable, please share on the comments, because I'm interested. Again, I tend to look at charts for what a candle tells me, what levels tell me, and some indicators tell me. I have a very busy life, and I don't, most of the times I don't have time to do a fundamental analysis, and I don't trade on fundamentals. I trade on charts, which is not, it's just my style of trading. Anyways, HIMS, I think, again, once 1870 is your level of support, critical level, and your resistance level right now is 21.7. Let's move on to Meta, if I can find it. All right, let's do Meta. And, well, we spent almost 5 minutes on HIMS. Okay, Meta. One of the things that I was talking about on the last video, where I mentioned Meta, and that was, if I could, that was about a week ago or so. Now I want to know. But anyways, what I was saying is that it would be great to see a little bit of a sell-off of Meta towards earnings. And it's happening. I mean, today the market in general was going down, and I think that any stock that had maybe a catalyst or bad news or whatever was more sensitive to this kind of daily move. Meta today was down 3.15%, and it was based upon this candle down all the way through. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, you had a little bit of a move to the upside, and then you completely collapse after you hit the 35 SMA on the 5-minute, and it didn't come back. So I think if we break that 35 SMA and we come towards 544, let's say, and earnings are good, we're gonna have a very nice move to the upside. So I'm kind of welcoming this. I'm sorry if you have positions in Meta, I don't, but I'm looking for those types of setups that might give an opportunity to trade something to the upside after earnings. I don't think I would buy it right before earnings, but I would probably buy, after earnings and catch that move. Normally you have that spike on earnings when in this case you went up and then you went down, but then you also have a reaction, when the stock actually has a good move to the upside. You can actually see it better here. You had a great earnings and then consolidated a little bit, and then you started moving back up. But anyways, would be great if we break under the 35 SMA and go towards 543 and, well, sorry, I'm just looking, 543.75. If we break that 35 SMA by tomorrow, I think we're going to hit that support level at 543.75. Let's move on to, sorry, the gardeners are outside, so if there's background noise, I apologize for that, but let's do Microsoft. Well, kind of like Amazon, a different kind of chart, but kind of like Amazon as far as like the setup is getting great, it's getting tight, and then you got a rejection today. However, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was down almost 0.7%. So, you hit this level. Let's go to the 5-minute and look how these levels work. You hit this level right here, then completely went down, came back, kind of similar to Meta a little bit. And then you came all the way down towards 422, and then buyers came back in towards the end of the session. Now, it would be great if tomorrow we open and then we go over 135, 131. If we don't break this level, I think we're going down, straight down towards 415, another strong support level. For now, your resistance level is 131, seems to be pretty strong. You also have this trend line right here that was almost broken today, but then not enough juice at open, and in the market in general, again, everything was selling off. So anyways, that's what we have for now. 431 is your resistance. If you break, you might actually, you can start thinking about 443, 445. But if not, if we don't help this level, we don't mount it, we're going down back to 415, which is your current support level. Anyways, let's move on to, I did post something about SPY today on X. So let's talk about SPY. You know, one of the things what I posted was a weekly chart, and I just ask a question to followers or whomever sees this. It's like, what do you see, right? And let's add something else here, because this would make it more. This is a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie. So you have this trend line right here. Let's just focus on the top one, and then you have a divergence on the MACD, the TSI, and the RSI. That's not good news, at least on the chart, on the technical level, right? Good news can come, maybe reports that we have coming up tomorrow, but I think we have jobless claims tomorrow. Yeah. It's not a huge catalyst, but I don't know, or Israel decides to attack Iran. They keep saying that. I saw that on the news today again. So if that happens, I think that we're definitely gonna go down towards 565 or maybe below that. We'll see what kind of reaction we see, and I think this has a lot to do with news and, you know, market sentiment. Another instance on which you can see that levels work. This got onto this level and just came back. Buyers came back in towards the end of the session. Again, we'll see. I think at this point I want to take it day by day. I've been thinking today about not trading anything until after the election. So for the next 2 weeks, basically don't trade anything. Just look at charts and see, looking for setups. Look, you know, let's put. I was thinking, let's put earnings behind us, you know, the election behind us, and at least that kind of catalyst kind of situation, get it out of the way for us, and then maybe, you know, getting back into trading swings for, you know, dated options for maybe March or April. But anyways, SPY, to be honest, as far as the chart goes, it's not looking great. I love the fact that we actually hit this level right here at 575, give or take, and we came back up. That's good. We'll see what we see or what we get tomorrow, and what kind of reactions we get on the market tomorrow. Now, let's talk about our friends at Tesla. And I gotta admit, I was one of those people thinking that they were gonna miss earnings. They didn't. So the price right now is right up here. So you have another gap, which I hate. But let's go to the 4 hour and look at this move. Very beautiful on the 4 hour chart. 8.41% at the time of the recording of this this video. I think, you know, let me take a look at the information that I have so I can share that with you as far as what was a bid and what not. So I did post this on X already. So the revenue came at 25.18 billion, which is slightly below of what the expectation was, which was 25.43 billion. Okay, so we had a miss on that. But then Tesla outperformed on key metrics. That is more important. So the EPS, which that means the earnings per share, reached 0.72, beating the estimation of 0.60. That is great. Gross margin was 19.8%, higher than 16.8, which was a forecast. that is another great beat. And the cash flow was actually quite high at 2.74 billion, which is well above the 1.61 billion estimation. So, you know, we can argue or, you know, say that the report was a little bit mixed because there were a couple of beats and one miss on, you know, revenue here or there maybe wasn't as expected. But the reality is, and they did way better than what we thought, way better than what I thought personally. I actually thought that after these earnings, we were going to hit 206, which is, let's go to this level right here, or not level, to the daily chart. I thought we were going to, tomorrow I was going to wake up at 200 or 206, which is this level right here, or maybe 200, which is at 200 SMA. But I'm so happy to be wrong. I think that now we are probably going to move and push really hard towards 265 again. No doubt about it. Unless there's some other news or something that might change this push. But I definitely think that 240 definitely in the horizon. 230 is already there. So 240, psychological level if you want. 250, I guess, better than 240. 250 was a level right here, I believe. 250 was quite stubborn. I don't have it as a level, but I remember that from a couple of weeks back. And anyways, I'm very happy to see that. I'm a Tesla shareholder, so I love to see that. I'm more than happy to be wrong in this case because, again, I thought they were going to miss and they didn't. And so now I think that Tesla is going to have some juice to continue going up. Right now, as I'm looking at, at the percentage going up, continues to go up, 8.52, 8.54. That is great. I think that guidance is probably going to be positive as well, unless they already mentioned guidance. I'm not following, as you can assume, I'm not following the reports or the call right now. I'm making this video. But technically speaking, I think I'm going to have more clarity tomorrow. I want to see the candles for tomorrow, and there's definitely going to be some gaps here and there, which might get filled, maybe not. But I do believe that we are well on our way to 240, 250. And if we reach those levels and momentum continues to come in, we can hit 265 easily. Also, keep in mind that Tesla is one of the heaviest, it's actually very heavily shorted. So that is also going to influence the price action to the upside. Anyways, I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy about it. Again, another thing that I want to mention, this is Tesla. This stock trades crazy. So if tomorrow you see, or in the next 2 days, you start seeing red, don't be surprised. I mean, that's Tesla. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. If you are used to see Tesla's chart and trade Tesla, where if you're day trading it or if you are long term, you would totally understand. It's one of these stocks that gives you this roller coaster rides. Like I was very, I guess, negative about the outcome of today, and I was wrong. And then sometimes you're super excited, and the disappointment comes really quickly. So Tesla is a very interesting stock that I don't know, that can give you trading PTSD, But anyways, I'm happy for it. I will see how the chart looks tomorrow, and we'll see how the chart looks, by the end of Friday. And I think that is going to give us a little more of an indication. Another thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of companies are bidding on earnings. Some others are not, but a lot of companies are doing pretty well. We'll see how the rest of the big cap companies do, especially Meta, Google, Amazon, and Apple. And we'll see how they do. Tesla for now is doing great. I think Amazon is also gonna do very well. I also think that CLOV, for example, this is a different cap, is gonna do well. I think that HIMS is gonna do well. But that's just what I think. Just like I thought, I could be wrong. Just like I thought that Tesla wasn't going to perform, and I was completely wrong. I could be wrong about the other ones. So, anyways, thank you everybody. Hopefully tomorrow we see more green. There was enough red today for everybody. But anyways, thank you everybody. I really appreciate your subscriptions, liking the videos, your comments, whatever you guys do. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.